I think we move on to segment 3, the Old Men Magic Commander Corner. This is the part of the podcast where Alex and I talk various things Commander. We're going to learn about Commander. So far, really, this year, we've used it just to build our first ever Commander decks. We add a card, 2, 3, sometimes 4 to our decks. Our decks are coming along nicely. My deck is called The Pump, inspired by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 1970s documentary Pumping Iron. My commander is Jacques Levert. He makes my creatures tougher, +0, +2. Green creatures. All my creatures happen to be green. Today, Alex, I'm going to review my deck because I am going to ask the viewers for some input, see if they have any ideas for me. My deck is approaching its final form. I'm close to the total number of cards I'm allowed to have in my deck. I just hit playtest on Moxfield to pull up my deck. I have 86 cards in the deck so far, which means I have 14 more slots to fill up. I want to fill it up with a lot more creatures. I currently have 29 creatures. I dream of a deck with 40 creatures in it. Alex, which creatures will those be? I have a good mix of low casting cost and high casting costs. I have my Birds of Paradise, my Elvish Herder, which can give some of my fatties that I play later trample, so I can trample over blockers. I have my Mana Elves, my Manimals, Fyndhorn Elves, Lanloir Elves, Quirion Elves. I have some other Skyshroud Elf. Werebear I added recently, another Manimal, another low casting cost creature. I have some low casting cost utility creatures, like Scavenger Folk to deal with artifacts, Stampede Driver that can also give my bigger creatures later in the game trample. I put in Thornscape Apprentice because I wanted some more 1-drops. I can also pay white or red mana to give target creatures special abilities. I have Waioli Wolves, which can pump my creatures. This is one of the major themes of my deck. I play creature cards, I play spells and other creature cards that can pump creature cards when I attack. That's going to be difficult for my opponents to decide whether they can block successfully, whether they should let things through. Oh, if I let something through, is he going to pump the hell out of it with a bunch of other spells and creatures? Am I going to take way more damage than I thought? Even if I block, is he going to trample, kill my creature, and deal more damage? Who knows? I don't know. Things are going to get big fast. That's the idea. Play a lot of creatures fast, make them bigger later in the game. I also want to have a lot of creature cards that generate tokens. So it's a making your creatures bigger strategy, but also a go wide strategy. That way, if you go wide, they might not be able to block everything. And then you put all your pump effects into whatever got through. So to make token creatures, I have Deranged Hermit, make scroll tokens. I have Kamal, Fist of Krosa. Doesn't make token creatures necessarily, but I can pay 1 green to turn a target land into a 1/1 creature until the end of turn. He also has an Overrun effect, where he gives all my creatures +3/+3 and trample. What else generates tokens that I have in here, Alex? Saber Ants can generate tokens when it gets damaged. Rith the Awakener, if this gets through, generates tokens. I have some fatties. I don't have a lot of... Hazes on Tamar generates tokens too. I forgot about that. I have some fatties. I don't have a ton of fatties yet, I don't think. Rith the Awakener's a fatty. Vertin Force is the king of the Timmy cards. Weathersea Treefolk is boltable, but it's got 5 power and trample, and it can come back. Shivan Worm, 7/7 for 5 mana. I think that's pretty good. So I'd be open.
I want to play with. I have to make some red-green deck with him in it.
I'd be open to putting some more fatties in this deck too. Phantom Neshoba is a fatty. Comes in with 7 +1/+1 counters on it. If I look at my mana curve right now, a lot of things I can play on curve. Turns 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm open to putting in some bigger creatures here with higher casting costs. I'm also playing with a lot of manimals too. So I have some ramp in this deck. I don't think it's unreasonable to maybe have something in the deck that has a casting cost of even greater than 8. I don't know. But what I'm going to ask the viewers today, if anybody's made it this far in the podcast, is I have 14 more slots left in my deck. I have 29 creatures. I would like to get up to 40 creatures. I have 11 more green creatures that I need to put into this deck if I'm to reach 40. And I'm reaching an impasse. I'm not sure exactly what else to put in here. I'm open to things that are even bigger than Verdant Force, casting cost wise. I'm also open to some more mid-range creatures, some more in the 2, 3, 4, 5 casting cost range. I'm going to add one card today. If anybody has ideas, leave them in the comments. Tell me, what big fatties, what big green creatures, or what moderate casting cost utility creatures, or just cool green creatures would you want to put in I have to specify something, in a commander deck that's a creature horde based deck, but that is also old frame only. So it has to be an old frame card, a creature that I can get in an old frame printing. Let me know. I'm hoping I get some good ideas. In the meantime, I do have one idea for what to add. This is overlap between our decks, Alex. You have this card in your deck already. I'm adding Forgotten Ancient.
Ah,
I almost said Forgotten.
Forgotten Ancient.
Forgotten Ancient.
I mean, I can't blame you one bit. I think this guy is sweet.
Go storm it. This is a creature with a moderate casting cost, 4. It gets +1/+1 counters whenever a player plays a spell. So great for a 4-player format. And I can move any of those 1/1 counters from Forgotten Ancient to other creatures. So he gets pumped. He fits all the themes, really. Not all the themes, some of the themes. He fits the main theme of my deck. He gets pumped every time an opponent plays a spell. Anytime a player plays a spell, sorry. And I can use him to pump other guys if I want to pump other creatures at particular times. And the pump is permanent. So that's my ad for today, Alex. Forgotten Ancient. I now have 30 creatures. I did 4. 30. 10, 20, 30. I want 10 more.